So you've got your beautiful Honda CB1000R, but you're a little bit scared about adjusting the suspension. You don't know where to start. Perhaps this is your first big bike and you're kind of a bit dubious on messing around with suspension settings, because obviously it could be quite impactful. In this video I'm going to show you just how easy it is to adjust the rear and front suspension on the Honda CB1000R, and then hopefully you can get a little bit improved riding handling with the stock suspension setup. Right, so you've got a Honda CB1000R Neo Cafe Sports Racer, or whatever they call it, but as much as you love the bike, you think there may be a little bit more you can do in terms of sorting out the handling, but you don't want to go to the expense of upgrading the front and rear shocks, because I think generally speaking, they're actually not that bad. Again, as with all things are built to a budget, but unless you're going racing and stuff, this kind of setup should be pretty good for the road. Now, I've had this bike just over a year now, and I keep meaning to do this and never get around to doing it, so today I thought I would do it. It's freezing cold and raining, so I'm not going to go do a test ride, but I will maybe do a test ride at the end and then just kind of let you know what I think, but just round the block. But I haven't done this, and I'll put a link in the description. So someone on the Facebook group, which is worth joining if you're not a member already, called Rafael Arsenea, apologies if I got your name wrong, he went to the effort of putting together a suspension settings table that you can kind of look at to kind of set things up yourself. So as stock, the rear preload is in position 3. The rear rebound dampening is 1.75 turns from full hard. The front preload is 7 turns from full soft. The front rebound dampening is 5 turns from full hard, and the front compression dampening is 5.75 turns from full hard. So that's how it comes out of the factory. That setup is good for you if you are around 70 kilograms. I'm not 70 kilograms, so in general I find the bike does perform well, but I do notice that the rear end is sometimes a little bit skitterish, and that's really the one thing that I'm hoping to see and feel a difference in. So I'm going to go through the 100 kilograms setup. So we're going to have position 9 on the rear preload, 0.5 turns from full hard in the rear rebound dampening, and then for the front preload, 17 turns from full soft, 2 turns from full hard, and then 4 turns from full hard. So again, this is a good guide. There's been some good feedback on the forum group. I think if you are an even heavier rider, so 110 kilograms or more probably, then you may need to look to get a different suspension setup that's going to work better with your weight. But I think lots of people are put off from messing with the suspension in case something goes wrong. But the idea in this video is that I'm going to show you that it's pretty straightforward. And again, if you're not happy with it or you screw something up, you know where you're starting from and you can go back to that starting point. So we'll start off with the rear, seeing as I'm at the back of the bike already. In the standard toolkit that you get normally kept under the seat in this little blue bag, which is why I've got things open, is this, so you can adjust the rear preload, and we'll look at that closer in a moment. And then we just need a couple of flathead screwdrivers as well. So let me reposition the camera a little bit so I can talk you through what it is that we're going to be adjusting, and then I'll do it on my bike so you can see how we do it, then we move on to the front. Okay, let me just get my torch on here. So hopefully this helps you guys see what is happening. It's going to be hard for me to focus it a little bit, but this rear section here, you see that's metal ring. Let me see if I can just position the camera and the torch a little bit so I can talk to you about this a bit better. So apologies that the lighting may not be that great. So this ring here, this is the ring that we're going to be adjusting with this tool I just showed you a minute ago. As you can see, it's got a couple of teeth on there, and that will fit into these holes. and we're basically going to turn it. And you can see here this little thing just here. I hope you can see that. That is it's kind of showing us what the current rebound setting is. So I don't know how we're going to see, if I can get the camera under here a little bit. There's some ridges. So there's a ridge there, that's ridge 1, ridge 2, ridge 3. So as you know already, it's in position 3, and I'm going to move that round to position 9. So a fair few clicks I need to move it. And then when we come to do the rebound dampening, so that's obviously for the preload, then we do the dampening. You can see just down here is a flathead bolt. I'm basically going to go in through this access panel, access hole just here, to then have access to that. You can see that just down here, and then make the adjustments. So that's what we're going to do. So let me just move the camera a little bit, so hopefully you can kind of understand what it is that I'm doing. Okay, so that's again, we're going to do the rear preload first. So we're just going to get the tool in here, and hopefully not have too much trouble doing it. So I just need to get that hooked in. And again, because we're trying to move this all the way through to position 9, we're going to be moving it clockwise. So I've got that clipped in. Let's push. Oh, it's a bit gritty. Okay, so now it's on position 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. Take it out. Put it in again. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. Oh, okay. There's a fair bit of adjustment there. Let me just sense check it myself. So we've got 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yep. Just got a little bit of a wipe with the cloth. And what that's done basically is quite significantly for me, obviously compressed the rear spring, so that hopefully it's not going to be bobbing around as much like I had previously. Then for the rear rebound dampening, as mentioned, this is where we're going to adjust with the screwdriver. So we're going to go in through this little hole. Again, you want the quite thick-headed bolt for that. So full hard is again clockwise, so all the way round to the right. So we just do that all the way around to the right till we stop. Stopped about there, and then we want half a turn to anti-clockwise, so to the left. So I can see here on my screwdriver I've got Halford's Advanced on the left hand side. If I just do a turn until that's on the other side, so that'd be half a turn, just like that. And that's it, that's the rear done. So pretty straightforward. So again, if only you felt you wanted to adjust the rear suspension settings, you could be done with that, but it's best to balance things out again with the front. And again, best to also do some checking yourself that how the bike actually feels when you ride it. But again, you can see already how simple and straightforward it is to make that adjustment. So I'm going to tidy up, put this tool away, and move on to the front. Okay, so we're going to start off by doing the front preload first. So by stock, it's going to be about 7 turns from full soft. So previously we were turning things to full hard, which was clockwise. Full soft is obviously anti-clockwise. And I'll show you in a moment the preload adjustment piece. And you've got 2 options with this. Somewhat easier way is to use a long flathead screwdriver like I mentioned earlier. But if you have it, and this isn't the best tool either, a T50 Torx head is actually the right tool for the job. But there's not really much leeway between the handlebars and the preload adjuster. So I recommend get a piece of tape or anything or something that you can put on the handlebars that will stop it getting damaged. So as you'll see in a moment, I'm going to put some electrical tape on there so that when I adjust it with this, I'm not going to scratch the handlebars. But let me show you the preload adjustment. It's labelled, but also checking your manual if you're not too sure and you can't follow along with the video too well. So just here, again, it's difficult to get in and see, but that there is the preload adjuster. So that is what we're going to be adjusting. So let's get things ready and show you how to do it. Okay, so as mentioned, I'm putting a little bit of electrical tape over the handlebars where I think things are going to rub a little bit. You may be watching this going, it's a bike, just, you know, just treat it like a bike. I like to look after things. I'm not a garage queen, but a fair weather rider, so I like to keep things nice and clean. So hopefully you can see here, if we put this in, see it just go in there, and you can see it's knocking on the handlebars, which is why I've put this in. So again, we need to go to full soft. So again, anti-clockwise. So we'll just start turning that around. So basically, you're turning it towards the L as you look at the preloader. I'll just keep doing that. It's quite a big difference. I'll just keep going. Should I stop at some point, hopefully. Should have been counting the turns, really. Right, okay. So now we're at full soft. So for my settings, I need to go 17 turns from full soft. So what I'm going to do is, obviously, because this is an angled tool, make sure you can see that on here, obviously an angled tool. So I'm going to put it in so the tool is facing forwards, and that's how I'm going to gauge that I've gone the right amount of turns around. So I'm currently, you can't see in the video here, but I have the head of the tool at about the 10 o'clock position. So I'm going to turn it 17 times until, again, so one revolution back to the 10 o'clock position, and do that 17 times. So 1, that's 1, 2, 2, 17. So to show you what that looked like from the other side, just so you can see how I was kind of setting things up here. So it's all just in here like that. I keep on turning it around so it's coming back into that 10 o'clock position. Just there. So that's our front preload adjusted. Okay, so now we're going to go on to adjusting the front rebound dampening and then the front compression dampening. So again, for this one, you just want to use a small flathead screwdriver, reasonable length to it, because again, you want to be able to get kind of into it nicely without kind of worrying about scratching the handlebars or anything. So let me just show you where that setting is. So it's again another one on the down here, and we can see we've got two options. The one on the left says 10, T-E-N, and the one on the right says COM, C-O-M. So that 10 one is for the front rebound dampening, and the right one is for the front compression dampening. Now both of these you adjust from full hard. So to get it to go hard, again, we're going to go clockwise. So you can see here, just turn that all the way clockwise. Nice and careful, make sure your screwdriver doesn't pop out. Okay, that one's full hard. This one as well. Okay, so you can see there, not both of those tops of the adjuster screws are level, so I need to make a note of where they are mentally when I turn the screwdriver, so make sure I do the right amount of turns. So for my settings, again, I'm going to do 2 turns from full hard on the rebound and 4 turns from full hard on the compression. So 2 turns from full hard, they'll be pretty easy on the rebound dampening. So let's go, that's 1, and 1 more. Okay, and that one was really easy because the screw was flat. And for this one, I need 4 turns from full hard. So I'll just make a note, it's slightly off. I'm going to say it's like at the 8 o'clock position or 2 o'clock. So 1, that's 1, 2, that's 2. Oh, actually now I'm sure I misplaced my mark there, so I'm trying to hold the camera at the same time isn't working so well on this one. So again, 4, so 1, that's 1, 2, that's 2, 3, that's 3, and then 4, that's 4. So that's it, all adjusted. So as you can see, pretty straightforward. Obviously it makes it a lot easier if someone's already done the hard work of making that chart. But then when you go out on the bike, you can just basically be in a position to tweak those settings, even take the tools with you so you can adjust them on the fly if it's not how you like. In terms of adjusting, perhaps you don't have any screwdrivers and Torx head screws or spanners or anything. There are obviously the tools that you need in the toolkit that comes with the Honda in that little pouch. Just they're not that great in my personal opinion, and I'm fortunate enough that I have various tools available. The all tools you see me using are Halford's advanced tools. You can see I've got those Torx ones just in here, and then a plethora of the screwdrivers and things. So I personally use the Halford's advanced stuff due to the fact that pretty much all of their kit has a lifetime guarantee. So if the socket wrench or something breaks, you take it back and they will swap it out. I've only ever had an issue once with one of their pieces of kit, and again they did just swap it for me, so not a problem. So yeah, I'm going to go for a quick test ride, then finish this video off letting you know if it did anything, if it helped, if it does what we need it to. Apologies if it's a bit windy. Even though it's quite bright, it's real windy now. The rain has stopped. But yeah, just back from a quick test ride. Didn't go too far, so it's not a great test. But basically, it's definitely made an improvement. The bike is much firmer now. It doesn't feel... well, I don't know, it's just much more confidence inspiring, I guess. Not that it ever wasn't that confidence inspiring before. The main thing I noticed if I was coming out of the bend or round a roundabout, it was always the back end felt a bit skittish, and now it's much much firmer. Maybe too firm, but I need to wait until the weather's a bit better to give it more of a test. So I think, obviously, like I mentioned, you've got some tools under the saddle anyway, so I might try and tweak things. But I think next time I go out when the weather's better for a proper test, I'll take my screwdrivers with me and the wrench, so I can just maybe soften things up just a little bit. But yeah, much better. I think, like anything, I guess, when something's set up better, it kind of does transform the bike. The other thing I need to do again is just test the PSI in the tyres, just to make sure they're okay. I did them a few weeks ago, and I not used the bike. Oh, sorry for the wind. But yeah, so definitely recommend trying this out if you've obviously got the Honda CB1000R, you've got the adjustable suspension. If you're watching this, because even though you don't have a Honda, again, if you've got adjustable suspension, look to do something similar. Obviously this chart is specific for this bike. Again, I'm no expert, still I would say a noob in terms of riding. I think I've been riding just over 2 years now, about 2 years, but still continue to learn and everything. So hope this video helped. Please consider liking it if you have done. Really helps the channel get noticed. Leave any comments or questions you have down below. I'll try and answer them if I can, and consider subscribing and pressing the bell notification as well. There's bike stuff, there's car stuff, there's all sorts of things that I like to geek out upon on the Spectrum Geeks channel. So thanks very much for watching. I'm going to go inside and warm up now, but take care of yourself, and till the next one, goodbye for now.